It's Fun Friday. Brain Smart Start. Good morning. It's Fun Friday. We made it through the week. Before we get started for today, we're going to sing our song. I'm hoping that you know it by now so you can sing along with me, okay? 1, 2, 3. Even though we're here, you're there. We still have love to share. No matter how wide, sunrise will not divide. And remember, all in, all together. So we're gonna get started with our Brain Smart Start. Just a few exercises to get us going for today, okay? All right, first we're gonna do head rotation. We're gonna turn to the left. We're gonna hold it. We're gonna turn to the right. Hold it. We're gonna look up. Down. All right. Now we're gonna march in place. Right leg up. Left leg up. Again. Okay, now we're going to start with our shoulders. We're going to go a few times backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to go a few times forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now we're going to go back. Now we're going to come back up to our neck area, and we're just going to roll our neck too. In a circular motion. All right. So we're going to go back and march in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we're going to the shoulders. We're going to go backwards. We're going to rotate our shoulders backwards. Okay, now we're back to our shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Woo. All right, now let's get ready for today. Also, let's meditate. Continue breathing in and out for 15 minutes. Now let's head to art. Today we're doing telescope. Hey guys, it's Kay again. As you can see in the picture, it's arts and crafts, and we're doing the telescope. All you would need is some toilet paper rolls. I made this one. This has 3 toilet paper rolls. So this is the one I glued together. And then I have these 2. Actually, I'm going to put this too. This is a cup that I cut the ends off of. Like that. So if you have some of these supplies at home, you can do it with me. So basically, this is my telescope. Yes, I'm going to bedazzle it because that's just how I am. I want it to be very, very girly. So this is the cup I put on the end. And these 2, after I'm going to use a hot glue gun to glue this. So these two will be on there like that. And then, let's see if I can show you a demonstration. That's what it'll be, okay? It's supposed to be like that. Telescope. So we can look up, you know, all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and use my glitter that I have and my glue. So I have some gold glitter, and I think I'm going to use, what color should I use, guys? Let's do purple. So I'm going to use purple and gold. So I'm going to bedazzle all of it. I'm going to put the glue on it. And I'm just going to go all around it because I want glitter all around it. After I put my glue on, I'm going to put my glitter on it. I think I want a little bit more glitter, so I'm going to add a little bit more glue. I'm watching my glue gun heat up. Didn't want it to make a mess. Okay, so that's one. Now I'm going to do the other one. Okay. Okay. So I got those. Okay. Maybe I should probably try to use the stick glue instead of the other glue because it's running. You see that? So I'm just heading over here to check on my glue gun. Okay. It's ready. So hopefully these won't drip too bad. I'm going to take these really quick. I'm still here, guys. I'm just using the glue gun here. You can't stretch. Uh-oh, all the way over there. Okay. So, I hot glued those together. Now I'm going to use the hot glue on this to connect those. Bear with me, because I never really used the glue gun. This is my first time. Can you tell? Because it's not sticking. Let's see. You know what? With this one, I probably can use regular glue, huh? Let's try this. I'm going to hold it for a few minutes. Will it go? It might not go, huh? Okay. I got to figure this out. Okay, so the glue gun's not working for me. I'm gonna see if I could do regular glue. See if I can hold it for a minute. Oh, still not sticking. What type of glue? It's gonna have to dry, guys. Okay, it's stuck, but it's gonna have to dry. Gotta take what I can get, right? You know what? Since this is not sticking, you can always use a stapler. That's maybe what I should have did to begin with. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. I had a little struggle, but I was able to do it. I just end up stapling it together. Okay, this is my telescope. It's supposed to be looking like this. Don't laugh at it. I tried. And that's all that matters is that you try, you know? So I'm going to continue bedazzling it. I never used the hot glue gun, so that didn't work out too well for me. Honestly. But it's okay. Okay, this is what it looks like. Mine. I gotta let the glue dry a little bit. Again, this is a definitely messy job. So you can always wear gloves to protect your hands so you won't get any glue or glitter on them. Miss K didn't because, you know, I don't mind. I know I'm gonna wash my hands. So, yeah. So this is how my telescope came out. But I'm gonna show you again the same picture. How the telescope's supposed to be. But I tried. Okay? And that's all that matters. All right. That concludes our art segment. I'll see you in a few. Bye. Please allow 20 minutes for finishing and cleaning up if you're participating with me. Right now, I'm showing you the art segments we did this past week, the outcomes of all of them, which was the rocket, the moon, the sun. That wraps up art. Let's head to break. It's story time. Okay, guys, this is Kay again. I'm back with the stories. Today, I'm going to read a book, actually, a chapter out of a book. This book is called Everything You Need to Know About Science. I'm going to read chapter 20, which is called, this chapter's title is called Stars and Galaxies. This relates to our topic of the week, which is which is space and exploration. So I thought it would be great to end off this week with a little bit more knowledge about things that go on in space, space, the stars, galaxies. All right. So we're going to start off. Again, it's chapter 20. The chapter is called Stars and Galaxies. And I'm reading out of Everything You Need to Know About Science book. Okay? A star is an object in space that emits energy in the form of light and heat. Stars are made up of gas and dust that are attracted to each other by the force of gravity. As the dust and gas gets closer together, temperatures in the core of the star become so hot that the nuclei of the atoms begin to fuse together. Two hydrogen atoms combine to form a helium atom. This reaction is called a nuclear fusion reaction, and it emits tremendous amounts of energy, which is transmitted through space in various wavelengths of light. Life of stars. This is the life of a typical star from start to finish. Okay, they break it down for us. Okay, I'm going to position this where you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so this is the example, the life cycle of a typical star. I don't know if you guys can see it. This is fascinating for Miss K too, because she's learning. This is the most I've learned about space, so I'm happy we get to learn it together. Okay, nuclear fusion. As the nebula contracts, the temperature increases until it gets to be so hot that nuclear fusion of hydrogen to helium begins. The nuclear fusion releases energy in the form of light and heat, forming a star. Main sequence star. The fusion of the star creates outward pressure that balances the force of gravity. The star continues to fuel its fusion with the hydrogen at its core. Large stars may last only a few million years because they burn through the fuel so fast. A medium-sized star like our sun might last around 10 billion years. And small stars can last trillions of years. Wow. As a medium-sized star converts all of its hydrogen to helium, it loses its source of energy and begins to cool. The cooling reduces the outward pressure and the core contracts. The contracting core causes high temperatures and the outer layers of the stars expand and cool and get ejected into space. A star in this phase of the life cycle is called a giant. Large stars form supergiants, while regular stars form giants. When the core of the giant becomes incredibly hot from all of the compression, it begins fusion again. Next, a giant can become either a white dwarf or a supergiant, can explode in a supernova. This is the black dwarf and the white dwarf. And it becomes the giant. And then the main sequence star. And this is the fusion nuclear. Okay, what are white dwarfs? That's what I want to know, right? White dwarfs, after a giant uses all of its helium, it forms a dense, hot core called a white dwarf. When a white dwarf cools and stops emitting light, it becomes a black dwarf. Wow. A supernova. What is a supernova? A supernova is a supergiant which is formed by a really large star, compresses very quickly. As it comes together, its core temperatures get really hot. Fusion of larger elements begin in the core until it forms heavier and heavier elements, like iron. Iron can't release energy through fusion, so iron causes the core to collapse violently, sending waves through the outer layers of the star and causing an explosion of bright light called a supernova. After the supernova collapses on itself, it contracts to a super dense ball called a neutron star because only neutrons can exist in its core. Smaller supernovas form neutron stars because neutrons can resist the force of gravity pulling the supernova together. In larger supernovas, the force of gravity is so powerful that nothing can stop it from collapsing. The force of gravity sucks everything nearby and so strongly that not even light can escape, forming a black hole. Dust and gas ejected from a star over the course of its lifetime can form new nebulas, starting the process all over again. In fact, many of the elements that we find on Earth, from hydrogen to carbon to oxygen to iron, were fused together in ancient stars. Let's learn a little bit more about starlight. When you look in the sky, stars all seem to be the same color, but actually stars give off different colored light. Different stars give off different amounts of energy, which affects the color of the light. That's all down to the type of the star they are, or the stage in the timeline of a star's life. Excuse me. For most stars known as main sequence stars, as the temperature of a star increases, it gives off brighter, bluer light. When a star has lower temperatures, it gives off dimmer red light. White dwarfs and giants are exceptions because their temperatures don't correspond to their brightness. White dwarfs are tiny stars that are hot but not bright, and giants and supergiants are enormous stars that are really bright but not as hot as other stars. Different elements in a star's atmosphere release different spectra. Spectra are a combination of light wavelengths, and each element releases a unique combination. Astronomers can determine the composition of the stars by looking at the different wavelengths of light emitted by a star. When you stare up at a clear night sky, you can see all sorts of stars. The shapes and the pictures people see in the starry night sky are called constellations. The Big Dipper, part of the larger constellation called Ursa Major, or the Great Bear, is perhaps the most recognizable constellation in the northern sky. Constellations are like maps projected onto the night sky. Long ago, travelers used the stars to help them navigate. Polaris, also known as the North Star, is located directly above the North Pole. In the northern hemisphere, the constellation appeared to slowly rotate around Polaris. Different constellations come into view at different times of the night and at different parts of the year. The sun is a star just like every other star in the night sky. Astronomers describe the sun as a medium-sized main sequence yellow dwarf star at the center of your solar system. The sun is somewhat unique in our galaxy because it is far away from other stars. Many other stars are in the clusters or in the orbit with each other. In fact, more than half of the stars you see at night might actually be two binary stars revolving around each other. But they're close enough together that they look like a single star. So here's a picture. This is the sun. They're showing you the core of the sun, the radiative zone of the sun, and the convective zone of the sun. Okay, galaxies in the universe. Galaxies are huge groupings of stars, gas, and dust. The sun is in the Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy measures about 100,000 light years across. That milky bright streak across the middle of the night sky is made up of about several billion stars in our galaxy. Our galaxy is a spiral galaxy, but there are other types. The definition of a spiral galaxy is basically galaxies that have spiral arms that emerge from the center. Also, our solar system is located on one of the arms of the Milky Way galaxy. I'm going to post that picture up of what a spiral galaxy looks like so you guys can kind of like get an idea of it. Also, the elliptical galaxy shaped like a huge egg. Wow. And also, there's an irregular galaxy. There are many other shapes of galaxies that aren't spiral or elliptical. They all fit into this category. That wraps up that segment. Let's go to lunch. See you in an hour. Rights and review for Monday. Okay guys, it's time for rocking your rights. We're going to go over a couple rights. Okay, I first want to start off by saying you are amazing. You can do whatever you put your mind to. Also, destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice, okay? So we're going to start off with the right to request a meeting with the staff. If you have an issue or anything like that, you can always request to sit down with the staff. You have that right to have that meeting with the staff, okay? Another right is the right to be made advised of or request any changes in your goals. You have the right to look at your file. You have the right to know what's going on in your file, what goals you need to work on. You have the right to know that information. Another right we're going to go over is the right to change your mind. Okay? You have the right of freedom of speech. You have the right to change your mind. Okay, at any given time. Another right we're going to go over is the right to have your records kept confidential. Okay, you have the right to keep your records confidential, to make sure everything is confidential. That is private, okay? You have the right to make sure that everything, as far as medical records, or as far as, you know, your goals or anything, you have the right. If you don't want, you have the right to say yes or no. You have the right. Okay? You have the right to agree to things. You have a right to not agree to things. That is your right. All right, guys. So that wraps up the Rocking Your Right segment. Okay? I'm going to do a review for next week. Next week's topic is food and nutrition. We're going to head into the kitchen area. We're going to do a cooking segment I want you guys to join me with. And we're going to end this off with our song, okay? 1, 2, 3. Even though we're here, you're there. We still have love to share. No matter how wide, sunrise will not divide. And remember, we're all in, all together. See you next week. So you all, before we go, or before I let you go, I want you guys to find a movie today. Anything dealing with space or exploration. And just take maybe an hour or two to watch that movie. Okay? And again, I'll see you next week. Have a good weekend.